Hello everyone, this is Mr. Wyman. I'm getting ready to read for you an article called The Amazing Penguin Rescue, and this comes from StoryWorksJr from a couple years ago, the December 2017, January 2018 edition of the magazine. We've been learning a lot about penguins and Antarctica, animals from Antarctica, the land of Antarctica. Well, this article is about penguins from South Africa. Within the region of the Antarctic Ocean. But this amazing story is going to be pretty wild to read. I hope you learn a lot and get a lot out of it. There's a Google form for you to fill out or answer questions from when you're done listening to / reading the article. Make sure you use the text from the article in order to answer those questions. So, without further ado, The Amazing Penguin Rescue.
What? Hey kids, you want to trade places? You wouldn't want to if you knew my whole story. Well, read this article and then you can decide. Well, how about you read it from my perspective? Let's do that. It's called Second Person. I'm going to put you in my place. Good luck. It's not very pretty.
Imagine you are an African penguin. The year is 2000. You live on an island in the South Atlantic Ocean. You are with thousands of other penguins on a rocky beach. Even though it's June, it's cold and windy. All around you are penguin noises, barks and honks. Some of your penguin friends fight for their space. Others cuddle with their partners and take care of their chicks. You're hungry, so you head down to the water's edge. You waddle on tiny feet. Your wings are too stubby for flying, but in the water you can swim faster and dive deeper than almost any bird on Earth. After you plunge into the sea, you shoot through the water just a black and white blur. You snatch sardines near the surface. Your thick feathers protect you from the freezing water. You stay in the sea for hours until your belly is full of sardines. Then you head back to shore. That's when something goes wrong. Dun, dun, dun. As you come to the surface for air, the water feels strange. It is thick. It stings your eyes, and this isn't normal. You try to swim away, but now your wings are too heavy to lift. This is unusual. You can barely catch your breath. What you don't know is that just hours ago, a ship called Treasure hit a reef and split apart. As it sank, 1,300 tons of oil gushed into the sea. Thousands of penguins have been soaked with the poisonous oil. So why was it hard for the penguins to swim back to shore? Because of the oil. What did the oil do? It's called poisonous here. What does poisonous mean? How do you think this will affect you as a penguin? Need to survive. Oil does awful things to a penguin, or any bird for that matter. It makes your feathers separate. Now you're shivering because freezing water is hitting your sensitive skin. Your eyes hurt because the oil has burned them. Your wings are heavy because they are covered in oil. All of these things you can infer what it's like without oil. So typically, and you see cause and effect here too. So because of the oil, your wings are heavy, and you can infer that typically your wings would be light. Also, it says that the oil causes your feathers to separate, and that tells you that typically your feathers would be all together, working together as like a sweater or coat to keep you insulated and warm. But you want to survive. Somehow you struggle back to shore. You manage to stagger onto the beach and back to your nest. You lick your feathers, trying to clean them. Finally, you give up. You stand there, terrified and silent. So where are you right now? How did you get there? You're the penguin. What are you doing? What's your condition, your situation? Here's a graphic aid, a map showing. Now this, when I originally saw this map, I thought this is where the oil spill was. Well, the oil spill was in this general area, but these lines, if you look at the key, are the penguin breeding range. So from here, the Holmesburg Bird Island, all the way along the coast of South Africa, and here's some other islands to this area. And how much space is this? Well, here's a scale. So this distance is 500 miles. So maybe this would be 500 miles, and then up here would be more than 500 miles. So over 1,000 miles of breeding land for the penguins. Strange creatures. Then the beach is invaded by huge creatures. And what are these creatures? They're humans. But you don't know that. You have never seen a human before. These men and women know that this oil spill is terrible for you and your species. Some of the people have spent their lives helping birds like you. All they want to do is save your life. As the humans swarm the beach, you become scared. A man catches you and you use your strong jaws and sharp beak to bite his arm. But the man doesn't let go. Now you bite his leg. The wound will leave a scar on the man for the rest of his life. But he seems to care more about you than about himself. All across the beach, people are capturing penguins. The people are getting slapped by wings and bitten as they load penguins into crates. It sounds like a war, a battle between penguins and humans. The penguins assume that the humans are trying to hurt them, but what are they trying to do? They're trying to help them. It is painful and tiring work, and it's sad to see all of these scared and injured penguins. Some of the humans try not to cry. What would they cry for? Why? But they don't give up. Thousands of penguins are in danger, and the workers want to save them all. Who are the creatures? What are they doing on the beach? Well, we just learned that they're humans. And what are they putting up with in order to help these penguins? That's the question I'd ask. Everything is hard. 10 miles from the island, a team of workers and volunteers has turned a warehouse into a penguin rescue center. The warehouse has many separate areas to contain the penguins. In other areas, penguins will be washed. One room is filled with tons of frozen fish. It's very hard to catch enough fish to feed all the penguins. That's why they freeze them so that they can keep them for the fish for a longer period of time so that they have food available. Because what are the humans really doing? They're all about cleaning these penguins. And check this out. Actually, everything is hard. Just getting one penguin to eat is difficult. In the wild, penguins gobble up sardines while the fish are still alive. Penguins don't want to eat dead fish. So workers have to hold the penguins, pull their beaks open, and shove the fish down their throats. And remember, these beaks are the beaks that were biting their arms and legs, the humans' arms and legs, and leaving scars and wounds. Feeding all of them takes 15 hours. And then there's the stinky smell that fills the warehouse. It comes from penguin droppings, their poop, dead sardines, and human sweat. Many people throw up when they first arrive, so then you smell that too. But not even the smell keeps people. Thousands of volunteers come to the warehouse. They include rich women from fancy neighborhoods and poor teenagers from city streets. In other words, people from all walks of life, all different kinds of people from everywhere. Some have never even owned a pet, but all of them want to save the penguins. So what do they all have in common? They're all trying to help these penguins that are damaged or hurt by this oil spill. Heading for home. Weeks go by, then one day you, because you're a penguin, are put into a box. You feel yourself being moved. When the box is opened, you are on a strange beach. You stand there for a bit. Then you can't help yourself. You run toward the water and dive in. What's this mean? You can't help yourself. Well, all this time you couldn't help yourself get the oil off of your feathers because it was poisonous and humans had to help you. But that's not what this is talking about. This is a different kind of help. You couldn't keep yourself from doing this. Like you couldn't help it. You had to run into the water. And this is called instinct. You follow a mysterious signal buried deep inside your memory. This is called instinct. You swim until you get to the shores of a rocky island, your island. While you were gone, humans cleaned up the oil that had covered the beach. The ocean carried the rest away. Soon, thousands of penguins arrive on the island. Once again, sounds of honks and barks fill the air. You've been part of the greatest animal rescue in history. Nearly 40,000 penguins were saved. Many of them will pair up with mates. Baby penguins will be born. You don't know any of this because you are a penguin. All you know is that your world is once again the way it should be.
I think I'll let you be a human again. But thanks for reading my story and pretending to be me. I hope you weren't wearing a silly sweater like this while I'm reading it. I feel so embarrassed. A human took this picture, you know. Well, they also cleaned up my island, so I guess they're good for something. Of course, it was the humans who accidentally spilled all that oil in the first place. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story and learned a lot. Lots of cause and effect in there. Bye-bye.